At this time, I would like to introduce Stacci Thomas, who is going to present us with her speech entitled, "Shall We Dance?"
Have any of you ever volunteered to give a speech, or maybe more likely been voluntold or assigned a speech, and you panicked immediately? Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? What am I going to talk about? What if they don't like me? What if I freeze up in the middle of my speech? Well, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and Speechcrafters, tonight I'm going to give you 3 steps to creating a topic that will suit your needs every time and put you at ease. Let's start by closing your eyes. Everybody close your eyes for just a minute. And I want you to imagine yourself in a top hat, a white tie, and tails, and you're tap dancing. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Now, I know that sounds kind of silly. None of us are going to be dressed in tie and tails, be tap dancing while we're giving a speech, although you might be a professional dancer, so it's possible. But it will help you. That image will help you remember tonight's 3 steps. T-A-P, tap. First thing we want to talk about is choosing a topic. The second thing is knowing your audience. And the third thing is the purpose of your speech. So let's start with our T in tap. A topic. How do we pick a topic? When I first considered joining Toastmasters, that was one of the things that really, really worried me. I worried about what would I talk about, for Pete's sakes. I haven't done anything. I've never climbed Mount Everest. I've never gone to the bottom of the ocean. I've never survived a disaster. I have no good stories to tell. What am I going to talk about? I'm boring. Turns out you can literally find topics everywhere and anywhere once you start looking. Reader's Digest, great place to find stories. The newspaper, any magazine, any book you're reading. Last week, I had a friend to text me a story about her husband's old high school and how they're handling cell phones, believe it or not. Now, just having experienced a cell phone crisis with my niece, I went and did a little research, and guess what? My next speech is about how you can get addicted to cell phones. You can find a topic anywhere, and if you're interested in it, I guarantee you, your audience will probably be interested in it as well. Start looking for topics. Create a book. It doesn't matter if it's just a sheet of paper. It can be on note cards. It can be anything. Start jotting ideas down as you run across them. Whether it's a magazine article, it's just something that crossed your mind. If you're interested in it, jot it down and start jotting down memories. Maybe family stories or memories of when you were a kid. I guarantee you all of those things, those ideas that you are jotting down, all of them will at some time or another become an important part of a speech. Write them down. It's a great place to build your base of topics. So now we've covered T, topic. Let's go to A, know your audience. Now, what does that mean? How do I know my audience? Well, right now, your audience is probably going to be the fellow students that you're with. But what if, for instance, you took a job and you were going to go speak at a company? Who are you speaking to? How do you find out? Well, a good place to start is to ask the person who is organizing the event that you're speaking at. How many people will be there? Who are they? Are they professionals? Why are they here? Are they here to hear a professional speech? I mean, it would be pretty embarrassing if you went to, say, a convention of doctors who are learning new techniques to operate on a heart, and you went there and told them about the last fishing trip that you went on. Unless you're there for the entertainment, that might not be a speech they want to hear. So you need to know who you're speaking to. You need to know your audience. What are their interests? What will capture their interest? How am I to approach that? And another thing, they may not be your only audience. What about, let's say MTSU got you to go and speak at a local high school. And you went to that local high school. It was let's say it's college day, and there are a whole bunch of college recruitment people there. And you went in there and you gave a speech about the best spring break ever that you just had, and you're about to take another one. MTSU might not be really happy with that, because they might have wanted you to talk about the great teachers that they have, or the great courses that they have, or maybe some of the students who've been there in the past and gone on to great careers, because they want to encourage students to come. So MTSU would also be your audience. And the school might not be real happy if some of the stories weren't appropriate for their students. So whoever hired you might not hire you again. You have lots of audience that you need to consider. So know your audience. What are you getting into? You can also do some research online. If it's a company, say, that you've never been to, what do they do? And last but not least, let's get to TAP, the purpose of your speech. Why do I need to know the purpose? Purpose is very important. The purpose is, are you there to entertain? If you're there to entertain, you might want to add a lot of stories that are funny. Maybe a few jokes even. That would make it nice, right? You're just there to entertain, to tell a story. And that's a great speech to give. But what if you're there because you need to give an informational speech? Ooh, now you need some facts and figures. You need to do some research. You probably need to have a few experts that can back up what you're saying. Maybe you need to have some graphs that will help you explain what you're telling them, all the information that you're giving them. Okay, so that's important. You can also give a speech that you're trying to inspire somebody to do something maybe to try something, maybe exercise so they can lose weight. Now that's a whole different story. Now you need to tell them stories about other people maybe who've been successful. You need to somehow or another rework your speech. So it's very important. The purpose will help drive the speech that you write. So now we've got the topic, the audience, and the purpose for your speech. So the next time you have a speech that you have to give, remember, tap it. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Stacci. Jeff, do you have enough time or do you need some more time? I can't hear you.
Just about another minute and a half, maybe 90 seconds.
Because I had some bonus training I could give while if you want to get it together.
Sure, that works.
Okay. The reason I'm asking him that, speech crafters, is because remember I said part of a meeting is the evaluation of the speech. Well, this is a bonus that I'm going to share with you. You may find it very interesting and helpful. And basically, this has to do with you stop playing around when you're online. We're going to treat this like a real production. We're going to produce you. And the first thing we're going to do in this production is lights. Lighting is everything. How many of you have ever been to a meeting and it's like this? You feel like your retinas are going to burn because you're looking in the sun. Or they didn't turn their lights on and they didn't pay their power bill. Or they're a zombie. All you can see is an outline of them. This is really easily corrected. And I know all of you know how to take a selfie. All you do is take your camera and keep turning it around until you don't have the glare. And that's where you need to set your camera. You never need to be looking into the sun. I was at a speech contest recently where the person did that very thing. This is basic stuff. If you want to appear professional, you've got to have good lighting and it's got to be in the right place. This is easy stuff. The next thing we got is camera. If I get out of the way here. Camera. Now, I'm not talking about, let's get the high dollar Aver Pro 920 CZ, blah, 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 blah. I'm talking about where you're putting that camera. Oh, how many meetings have I been to where this is all, I feel like I ain't got no body. I feel like I'm in a Young Frankenstein movie or something. There's this guy here. Where is he? Where is he at? I don't know. You would never get up and give a speech and sit behind the lectern like that. Or like that. Or like that, looking up somebody's neck, Mr. Turkey Neck. It is so easy to fix a camera. Put it in a position. I don't know if you've got it on a power book. I don't know if you've got it sitting on spare tires. We can't tell that. So you don't want to do that. And here's another thing. A lot of people like to use their phones. And guess what kind of picture you get? You get a picture like this. You see this area right here? All this area right here is when you got your phone like that. Oh my gosh, what can I do? Well, let's turn the phone 90 degrees and all of a sudden your picture widens and you look like a professional. Lights, camera, action. Lights, camera, action. This is what really makes or breaks you. Because we hear you. We hear everything you do. So many people are used to the background noises in their homes that they don't realize that the dogs are barking, the birds are chirping, they're chewing and drinking, they're slurping and drinking and eating their Fritos, and they don't think anything about it. I'm going to tell you that you have the most powerful weapon in the entire online universe, and it's called the mute button. Use the mute button. It's not going to hurt you to press that button. It will actually make life a lot better for a lot of the other people. Another thing you could do is, are we at a sleepover at this guy's house? He's got his camera here in his bedroom. I don't know what message he's trying to attribute to us. What's he trying to say? When COVID hit, I was meeting at a church and people used to show up at church laying on their couch in t-shirts and ball caps, eating and drinking. And I'm thinking, you would never go to church like that. You need to treat, if you want to be a professional, you need to treat these meetings like they are really something. Because look at this, these people don't care. And why don't they care? Because you aren't presenting anything worth keeping their attention. If you've got something worthwhile, if you're spot on with your speech, if you've got it where it needs to be, you're going to have their attention. And the other thing you're going to do is you're going to be the audience you want. You're always going to have your video on. You're not going to do the Zoom call. And I've had people do this while they were on a treadmill or while they were walking in the woods. And here's the biggest no, never, ever in your lifetime do this on Zoom. Talk while you're in the car. If you can't text while you're in the car, what in God's name makes you think you can do a Zoom call? All these things I mentioned are easy fixes. And the trick to this all is, if you're a good presenter, you can present no matter what the venue. It's just get the simple skills down and you will have it. Thank you. At this time, that was your bonus. That wasn't on the schedule, but I thought we might have to fill a little bit of time. At this time, Jeff is going to give an evaluation of Stacci's speech.